Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and happy new year if this is your first time here. Today I'm going to be doing my roundup of beauty products that I loved throughout 2020. It's going to be a favorite and not so favorite, so I do have a few products here that I want to share the reason why I feel like they're going to be in the not so favorite category, but I do have a lot of products that I tried that I'm really happy with, and I will continue to use them throughout the year of 2021. I'm going to do it in parts. I've already done one for my hair care and I'll link it up here or in the info bar below if you're interested in seeing that. And I'm going to be doing a separate one for skincare and for fashion as well. If there's anything that was sent to me, I will let you guys know, but the majority of the things that you will be seeing today were purchased with my own money. So with all that being said, let's get started. So as always, I'm going to start with my not so favorite ones from the year. It doesn't necessarily mean that these products are not good. I'm just going to go through the reasons as to why they've not worked for me in 2020. Some of them I wouldn't repurchase. I've had them for some time, or I bought it in 2020, but I try to use everything that I have in my collection, but I have a few here that didn't work 100%. So I'm going to start with a concealer. This one is a drugstore product, is by Rimmel, and it's called the Lasting Radiance Concealer. I have this in the shade beige, I think. Yeah, classic beige. And although I love the texture of this concealer and the highlighted finish that it gives me, it doesn't last on my skin at all. Within 2 to 3 hours, this concealer is gone. I need to reapply. I already apply a lot of it. I don't feel like it provides a lot of coverage, which is okay. I don't really have dark under eye circles. I can apply always a corrector to minimize the amount of concealer that I wear. But this one doesn't last at all, and that's the reason why a lot of times I prefer to buy higher end, because I haven't found a drugstore concealer that lasts the entire day, as well as the Eraser Eye from Maybelline. It doesn't last a lot of hours, but it does last a lot longer than a concealer like this one. So this is definitely not my favorite and I wouldn't repurchase it. Next, I have two base products. I'm going to start with this one right here from L'Oreal. It's called the Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I have this in shade 140, which is a golden beige. And this match right here is amazing. Like, the shade matches me really well. This foundation is a medium to full coverage, and it's a very long wearing foundation. The reason why I feel like this is not a foundation for me, it's because it does show my texture. At first it looks really nice and flawless, but throughout the day I feel like my skin starts drinking the foundation, or my pores just feel suffocated and they tend to open even more. So I like wearing this foundation when I'm doing videos because you're not right up in my face. But if I look at myself in the mirror throughout the day when I wear this foundation to go to work, I can see that I'm wearing makeup. It's heavy looking, so it's good for me to do videos, but it's not a good foundation for every day. The next base product is the CC Plus Cream from It Cosmetics. I have this in shade medium, and as much as I like this product, it's not a favorite product of the year. The shade is not 100% good for me. Like, medium is just slightly lighter, or it doesn't have enough yellow, and medium 10, some people say it's their favorite, sorry, not their favorite, like their perfect shade for their skin tone. But I don't think that shade works for me. I think it has a little bit of pink in it, which is not very attractive. I have yellow undertone. And this, I feel like it's too heavier coverage. Like, when I put it on, I always look like I'm wearing makeup. I don't know if it's because the shade is a little bit off and I need to apply a little bit more bronzer, or it's the coverage itself. And again, because I have textured skin, I just don't feel like this looks very pretty. Again, I like wearing it when I'm doing videos or when I'm going for errands. And don't get me wrong, I've used quite a bit. I probably have about half left, and I will continue to use it, but it's not a product that I would repurchase because I feel like the coverage is just a little bit too heavy and it shows like I'm wearing makeup. So CC cream for me is something that should give me just a wash of color, and this just, it's a little bit too much. Next I have a blush, and this is from Kevyn Aucoin, and it's called the Deep Peach Trebelle Cream Blush, and I've had it for quite some time. This is the shade, let me show you guys. So this is how this blush actually looks. It's very, very pretty. It looks very dark on the pan, but you can definitely like give just a wash of color on your skin. But I don't find that this cream blush blends very well. It's a little bit drier in texture, and I really like cream blushes, especially the Pot Rouges from Bobbi Brown, and I will be mentioning one today. But this one, the texture is just a little bit too drying, and it's not really good for combination to oily skin. I know a lot of us that have this type of skin concern, oils here and there, tend to skip cream blushes, but if you find the right texture or the right ingredient type of cream blush for you, it can work really, really well and give you like that nice dewy, not greasy type of look. But this one, the texture on the pan is too dry, and on the skin is difficult to blend, and it just, I don't know, it just makes my skin look oily after a while, so I don't really like it. And my last product from this category, I'm really disappointed that I'm featuring this product in my least favorites of the year. I want to love it, but I can't. So it's by Bobbi Brown. This is one of their nude finish illuminating powders in the shade Buff. This is how it looks. As you guys can see, I have hit pan because I love Bobbi Brown and I really, really wanted to love this powder, but I don't. I thought this was kind of like along the lines of the finishing powders from Hourglass. Of course, the technology behind it and the finish is going to be different, but I thought it was going to be something similar, and it's not. First of all, this shade is not suitable for me. And for those of you who like Bobbi Brown, my winter shade, or my perfect shade, which is my real skin tone, is shade Natural in their foundations. And this shade over here, Buff, is not a match for shade Natural. Maybe I can use this as a possible bronzer. Maybe I've not tried it, but this is supposed to be a finishing powder, an illuminating finishing powder that I thought was going to give me the same finish as Hourglass powders, but it doesn't. It actually makes me look like an Oompa Loompa. It doesn't give me that glow that I was looking for. My skin just looks very oily, and I look like my foundation has completely been altered by a powder. That's what this powder does. Okay, so now that we got the not so favorites out of the way, we're going to get into the good stuff of this video, which is my favorites throughout the year. I have a lot to go through, so I'll try and be as fast as I can. I'm going to start with moisturizers / primers. And the reason why I'm including these together in the same category is because 3 of the moisturizers that I have here have primers infused or can be used as primers. So I'm going to start with something that was gifted to me not very long ago, and this is by Laura Mercier. It's called the Perfect Cream Multitasking Moisturizer, and I really, really love this. I tend to use this only on my T-zone. I don't apply it all over my face because I have another moisturizer that already has a primer that does that for me. But if I want to add a little bit more moisture and provide a little bit more cushioning on my skin, I apply this product. It smells absolutely divine. Like, it smells like a higher end product, and I'm really happy that when I got my Laura Mercier products that they only sent me stuff that I actually have never tried. So this product works really well. The other moisturizer, which is not going to come as a surprise, is the vitamin enriched face base from Bobbi Brown that I have been using for years. I think I started using it at the end of 2017. It looks like this. This has been my everyday moisturizer, whether if I'm wearing makeup or not wearing makeup. I always reach for this. It has a primer infused in it, and it really plumps up the skin and gives you that lovely smooth canvas. Of course, I still have texture, but this minimizes the texture and really allows the foundation to sit on a more cushioned base, which is nice. A new product that I have as well from Bobbi Brown is their vitamin enriched eye base, and this is very, very new. I think it was released either in November or December, and straight away I ordered it because I love the face base so much. It looks exactly the same, has the same scent. The scent is not as strong as the Laura Mercier, by the way, if you guys are wondering. And I absolutely love, love, love this to apply underneath my eyes because my eyes feel hydrated. I tend to apply a couple of times if I'm going to go out, as in going to work and I want my makeup to last all day, or if I'm filming like today, I'm going to be filming 3 to 4 videos. I apply a couple of layers to really hydrate those fine lines so that my concealer doesn't crease. And the last product, which is in fact a primer, is also by Laura Mercier. This was gifted to me, and this is called the Pure Canvas Primer. That has no silicones, and it's supposed to blur imperfections. Love this. It's the best primer I tried this year, and I had a few in my collection that I got rid of throughout the year, but this one has been the best primer I have tried. It's so amazing because so many people were saying that Laura Mercier makes the best primers. In fact, she does. At least this one works wonders. It really smooths out my skin, and my foundation lasts a little bit longer. Now, moving along to base, I have 2 foundations here that I want to share my thoughts with you guys. The first one is the Dior Face and Body foundation that I bought at the start of this year. It was pretty much at the beginning of spring when we were all put on a lockdown because of COVID. And the shade that I have is 3.0, which is a very kind of like yellow based tone, which is amazing. Now, this is a great shade for me in the warmer months, but it's not so good at the moment. It would make me look a little bit too yellow or orange. But I really love this foundation. I wore it so much, got so many compliments when I was wearing this foundation. It lasts ages on the skin. It doesn't have SPF, so make sure that you use your SPF before you apply this foundation, or any foundation for that matter. But I wore this so much in the summer, during videos, going out. It's a great foundation for those of you who have combination to oily skin like myself, or even oily skin. I think it's going to be a foundation that I would definitely repurchase because I love the packaging for traveling. It's fantastic. It comes with a little squeezy top, very similar to the MAC Face and Body, but the finish is different. MAC Face and Body is a glowy, dewy glow, and this one is a soft matte, but I think it works for many skin types. And the second foundation, second and last foundation that I'm going to show you guys, it's the one that I'm actually wearing right now. Now, this, I bought it very, very recently. It's the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. I wore this foundation and did an entire review, which will be linked up here, in 2018. And there is a reason why I repurchased this foundation. I remember when I wore it at that time, I finished the entire bottle, and very rarely I finish foundations. For me to finish a particular foundation is because I really, really have to love the formula. And I love the formula of this foundation. It's a true soft matte finish. It's not super matte, but it's not glowy either. It's not a satin finish either. It's a true soft matte finish. Shade Natural matches me perfectly. Love the finish. It blurs imperfections. It lasts at least 9 hours on my skin. I don't know about the 16-hour mark, but it definitely lasts on me 9 to 10 hours. And I just love it so much. And I wanted to include it in here, although I haven't worn it that much throughout the year. I got it in December and I fell in love with it again. It's an amazing foundation. So the next 2 products are going to be Corrector and Concealer, and I'm going to put them in the same category because they do the exact same thing. One corrects, the other one conceals. The 2 together are just magic. They're both from Bobbi Brown. So I have their Corrector in the shade Peach. I only need to use a tiny little bit of this and it automatically brightens up my under eye area. I use it only in the inner corner and it's amazing. Blended with my fingers, it just fuses in with my skin and it's a fantastic product. Again, I've been using it for years. I think the first time I bought it was 2008, 2009, and since then I've been hooked. The concealer also from Bobbi Brown. This one is called the Instant Full Cover Concealer. I wear this in shade medium beige and I love this. I think this is my third or fourth tube. I've never repurchased a higher end concealer as much as I have done this one. I just love the formula. Yes, it's thick, but you only need a little bit and it lasts the entire day. It's a self-setting concealer, so if you don't have fine lines or you don't have problems with concealers creasing, you don't need to set this one. I always set it because I feel like it's going to move, and because I have combination to oily skin, it might transfer or just disappear, so I tend to set it always. Okay, so next I have a face powder. My face powder of the year has to be the Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder. This, I bought it with my own money. It was my first ever product from Laura Mercier, and I know why it's a cult favorite, because it just sets your foundation like no other. In the spring and summertime, I wore this non-stop, and I continue to wear it now in the winter, but because my skin is not as oily, I tend to not apply a lot because I don't want my skin to look mask-like because it's cold outside. But this thing is amazing. It just sets your foundation so nicely. If I want to have a full coverage flawless face, I set this with a dampened beauty sponge. But if I'm in a rush in the morning, I only use a little brush and just swipe a tiniest amount of powder, and that's all you need from this, and I think this is going to last me ages. So my next category is going to be bronzer, because bronzing is one of the nicest things to add dimension to your skin. If you don't apply bronzer, I'm not entirely sure how makeup actually looks without bronzer, especially if you're wearing a full coverage foundation. My favorite bronzer, and I've had this for years, is by Hourglass. This is the Bronze Radiant Light Bronzer. Like I said, I've had it for years, and I've done a review when I got this. I'll link it up here. I think it was in 2016, and this is the bronzer. This is the most beautiful bronzer I have ever owned. I love the texture. It's finely milled. It gives me a nice glow. It blends so nice. Any foundation that I use, this bronzer blends, just fuses in with the product. I also wear this in the summer without foundation, especially if I travel and I don't wear a lot of foundation because I'm kind of like scared that the foundation is just gonna melt off my face. I tend to use concealer. I'm already tanned a little bit, so I just apply this to give me that extra JLo glow. Although Hourglass products are expensive, and I know a lot of people say that, I personally think you get good value for money, because like I said, I got this maybe in 2016 and I still have it. I think this is a lovely product for anybody. You need to try Hourglass products. I even got a few. I treated myself now for Christmas. This is amazing. Highly recommend. So the next products are going to be blushes, and I have 3 here. I'm going to start with my absolute favorite of the year. It's by Bobbi Brown. It's one of their Pot Rouges. It's called Powder Pink, and it looks like this. This is like my everyday blush to go to work. And I also apply this on the lips, because you can use this on your lips as well to combine. It kind of like matches. I'm sorry if you guys are going to start hearing fireworks, but today is the 1st of January, so more than likely you'll still hear some fireworks. I just did. So apologies for the background noise. But yeah, going back to the blush, this is an amazing formula for any skin type. Especially if you have combination to oily skin, you will love this formula. It just blends in very nice. It doesn't look oily at all, and you can set it with another powder on top if you want to. Possibly in the summer I would do that so it doesn't move. It doesn't move all that much, but if you want to do that, you definitely can. But I tend to use this on its own, and it just gives me that beautiful flush of color that, I don't know, it's just so natural. It's like one of the nicest things I have ever bought from Bobbi Brown. Again, I have this since 2018, I think, and I love it. A formula that doesn't dry either, because I've had it for some time and it's still nice and moist, kind of like, you know, ready for you to dip your fingers in there. The next blush, which is my second most loved blush this year, is a NARS blush in the shade Orgasm, and it looks like this. I really love rosy toned, kind of like corally toned blushes. I think they're very, very beautiful. It has a little bit, I don't want to say glitter, but if I apply it too close to my cheeks over here, it shows a little bit of my texture. But I think it's a beautiful shade, that it's very universal. It will be flattering on so many different skin tones. I really, really love this. And you can use it also as a eyeshadow. You know, makeup is there to be played with, and you can use it however you want to wear it. The last but not least blush that I have here is by MAC, and this one is called Warm Soul, if I can open it. And it's a very, very natural looking blush. It's something that I gravitate towards when I want very natural makeup, where you don't really see that I'm wearing blush, but I'm wearing something. It's mineralized, so it has a lovely type of finely milled texture. It just glides on the skin. It definitely needs to be built upon, especially if you are a little bit deeper in skin tone than I am. It's still very beautiful, and I think from fairer to medium, almost 10 skin tones, this blush would work. And like I said, very natural. It goes with anything. You want to do a smoky eye, you want to just have a kind of like barely there makeup, this is my go-to. Okay guys, so now it's time for highlighters, because highlighters add that little luminosity to your skin, make you look a little bit more awake and more bright. I have two over here. One from Bobbi Brown. You guys know how much I love this brand. This is one of their shimmer bricks, and it's called Sunset Pink. I think this was a limited edition. I tend not to talk too much about limited editions, but it's the stuff that I gravitate towards. It's what I'm wearing, so I want to share it with you guys. So this shimmer brick looks like this. It has different shades, as you can see. It's more of a pinky toned bronzy look type of shimmer brick, so it adds a little bit of a highlighted cheek. That's what I like. I wear this on my eyelids as an eyeshadow, and I wear it as a blush on its own sometimes, but you need to build upon, or I apply it on top of another blush like a cream blush. So easy to just use because it really does what it says on the pan. The quality is amazing. I highly recommend shimmer bricks from Bobbi Brown. I will link below something similar. Like I said, I think this is limited edition, so they don't have it anymore. But it's a beautiful kind of like highlighter. And if you are of a fairer skin tone, I think you can use this as a blush slash bronzer. The other highlighter that I have here, and this was gifted, is by Laura Mercier. And this one is called Addiction, and it's a golden highlighter. When I say that this highlighter right here has no glitter and really adds a beautiful glow to the skin, I am not lying. It's actually similar to a highlighter, or in texture or finish, I would say, to a Hourglass. Not there yet. I think Hourglass is right at the top. They're like the angels of highlighting and luminosity. This is in the clouds. And that's the best way for me to describe it. It's such a beautiful, subtle highlighter for my skin tone. And I use this a lot. It was gifted to me not too long ago, but since I got it, since I opened it, I've been using it every single day. So next I have two lip products, and these are the most worn lip products that I have for the entire year. They're both from MAC. I'm going to start with the lipstick because this is my most worn lipstick in my collection. I've repurchased it several times, and it's called Velvet Teddy. As you can see, it's very well loved, and I need to get another one because I love having backups of this lipstick. It's what I'm wearing right now, this lip combination I'm wearing right now, and I just love the formula of matte lipsticks from MAC. They're not drying. They're very comfortable throughout the day. They wear really well, and they're not expensive. And for the amount of times that I wear it and the price that I pay, I feel like they're great value for money, and very comfortable to wear. And Velvet Teddy, I think it's one of my favorite nude everyday lipsticks. And I combine it with this lip pencil, as you can see, very well loved. It's halfway down. It's called Nice and Spicy, and it's the perfect lip combination together with this lipstick. I don't wear it every day together, but I wear this a lot. I wear this maybe 3-4 times a week. And if I remember, if I'm not too lazy, I will apply this, but every time I want to make the perfect lip combination, I always go for these two together. You'll notice throughout this video that I'm not going to be mentioning eyeshadows at all because I don't reach for them all that much. More in the summer, but year of 2020, I didn't really go anywhere, so the majority of the time on my eyelids, I wore my bronzer or my highlighter. That's what I've been using, but I have something here that is for the eyelids and I will be talking about it. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about eyeliners, and I wear two, one from the drugstore and one from Bobbi Brown. This one is in shade Sepia Ink, and it's one of their long wear gel eyeliners that looks like this. This is my second time purchasing it. They last ages, like they last so long. I'm actually wearing it on my eyelids today. It's one of their best sellers. It's a cult favorite from Bobbi Brown. They are amazing. They don't budge, they don't smudge, they just stay in place the entire day, and they're very easy to remove, which is great. The other one is from Maybelline, and this one is the tattoo liner in shade brown. It's very similar in shade to this one, maybe a little bit lighter, but very close to it. It glides on the lid. It's super inexpensive, so if you don't want to pay for this, which I don't think it's that expensive, and it's still a good size that you can put in your makeup bag, then you can buy this one. It lasts the entire day. It doesn't smudge, it doesn't budge, it just stays in place, and I love it. Brown eyeliners are the way to go if you like wearing it on a day-to-day basis, but you want it to be subtle, then definitely go for brown. So as mentioned, I haven't been reaching for my eyeshadow palettes, but I've been wearing long wear shadow sticks from Bobbi Brown. I have a golden pink over here, and I have another shade in my drawer, but this is the one that I gravitate the most because it's very natural. It gives a wash of color with shimmer, but very subtle. It really brightens up the eye so nicely. You can use it as an inner corner highlight or just a wash of color all over the lid. Super long wearing. You can use it as a base for your other shadows if you want to. And it looks like this. I know I'm far from the camera. I've done swatches of this on a recent vlog that I did for you guys. This is amazing. I'll definitely be buying more shadows or more shades of this. Let me know in the comments below if you use them. If you're a similar skin tone to mine, what other shades could you recommend for me to try? Because nowadays we buy everything online. We can't swatch anything. So do let me know if you've tried this. I really like it. Next, we have two mascaras that I've loved and I've been obsessed with throughout the year. The first one is the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift. I've gone through tubes and tubes of this. This mascara is amazing. It's the best mascara for me, hands down, in 2020 from the drugstore. Maybelline makes great mascaras. I really love their formula. It really helps my lashes look fluttery, excuse me, long, lifted. Such an amazing product, and I think it costs around £8, between 8 and 10 pounds. Very affordable. And the other one is the Smoky Eye Mascara by Bobbi Brown. I only tried this year, and I have at least 3 tubes already as backups because this mascara is amazing. Amazing. I just love the wand. The wand is not too big. It's a perfect little wand for my eyes and for my lashes. It's what I've been wearing every single day. I'm wearing it today. It really lifts the lashes. They look so amazing. Highly recommend these two. If you can't afford or you don't want to buy a higher end mascara, then go for this one from Maybelline because I think it's amazing. Even my best friend, she likes these, and her lashes are long, but they're not as curved as mine. And she absolutely loves this mascara, and I highly recommend the Bobbi Brown as well. Okay, we're nearly there. So the next two products are going to be brow products. I have one high-end and one drugstore. I feel like I do this a lot. I combine drugstore with higher end, and that is the best way to go. Try drugstore first. If you can't find something to complement what you're already using, then go high-end. So the first product that I've been using for ages is this brow mascara from NYX. I'm not sure if this has been discontinued because when I go online, I can never find this one in particular, but I think at the drugstore they still have it. At least Superdrug and Boots still carry this. And the shade that I have is brown, I think, Espresso, sorry. So the shade that I have is Espresso. This is a mascara for the brows. You can use this on its own, especially if you already have lovely, full, bushy brows. That's what I love. You only need to use this because it just grooms them and adds a little bit of a tint. So it does have a tint to it, which I like. And then a product that I got closer to the end of the year, maybe September or maybe October. I think I got this in October. It's by Benefit and it's called the Brow Microfilling Pen in shade Deep Brown, which I always say it's weird because deep brown is the darkest shade. So I don't know if you are deeper in skin tone, if this will work for you, or if they have a different shade that is just brown that works for you. Let me know in the comments below. But this is awesome. Very, very feathery type of brows that you're going to get with this. It has a little spoolie or a little brush which is angled, and it doesn't carry a lot of product, so you can just go and brush. It's like you're painting and brushing at the same time your brows. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands, but it works really well. I've been loving it. I've been using it since I got. I think it's a product that I would repurchase because I'm loyal. I'll probably repurchase the same product because I don't know what other shade from a different brand that I can use. But I do really love this combination. Sometimes I wear this on its own, but the majority of the time I wear this and this together. And last but not least, I want to talk about my favorite makeup brushes of the year. And I feel like these were my favorite last year as well. Even if I didn't mention them in a video, these are my go-to makeup brushes. If I'm going to travel, if I'm going to put makeup on a day-to-day basis, I only need these 5 brushes. I have a bunch of them, but these are the ones that I gravitate towards the most. I'm going to start with my absolute favorite, which is from Bobbi Brown. This is called the Full Coverage Brush, and I love this. I actually have 2 in my collection. I very recently got a set from Bobbi Brown, which I will be sharing later in the month. And this brush was included in there, but I already had one in my collection since 2018. And it's the only foundation brush that I have. I love this. It's so good at building coverage, applying your foundation, especially if you're using a Bobbi Brown foundation. They are made to all work together. Everything in their collection is made to work together. This brush is amazing. The second brush that I love so much, again, it's also from Bobbi Brown, and it's called the Blush Brush. And I just love this. It's the only blush brush that I have or that I use to apply blush, and it's great. It's super fluffy. It applies blush like no other. Great, great, great. I wish I could have an entire collection of brushes from Bobbi Brown because they are so amazing. The third brush is by Real Techniques. This is one of their what is this line called? They have a blue line of brushes. This is the B01. It's like a domed brush, as you can see, and I use this one to apply my bronzer. You can also use this to apply powder, to apply blush if you want to, but I use this one for bronzer. I love the dome shape, and I just love how it feels on my skin. It just blends everything so seamlessly. It's a lovely, lovely brush. The other one is also by Real Techniques from the same line. This one is the B02. So it's a smaller version, as you guys can see from this one over here. This one, I use it to apply my powder, to set my concealer. That's what I use it for. I can also use it for bronzer if I want to. I use it to set the high points of my face because it's not too big. It doesn't carry too much powder. I can use it for highlighter, can use it for blush. I can use it for so many different things, but I use it the majority of the time to set my concealer and to apply powder the rest of my face because it's smaller, so it applies a little bit more precisely. I can't get my words out. And last but not least, the last brush is this one right here. Is from Sigma, and I've had this for ages. I think it's the E40. It's kind of like rubbed off, but this is my favorite hands down eye brush. I use it to apply a wash of color on my lid. I use it to blend. I use it to apply underneath my eyes. It's just a multitasking brush. If I don't want to make the rest of my brushes dirty, this is the brush that I'm going to use. It's just amazing. I also like the E35, which is white, and it's just a little bit smaller, but this is the best eye brush that I have, and I love it so much. Okay guys, so we've reached the end of this video. I do hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you have any of the products that I mentioned here, how do you use them? Have you been contemplating in getting them? Do you have the same skin type as me? Just comment below, interact with me. I absolutely love when you guys do that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.